What's up everyone, this is Hazy Trees. I hope you're doing well today. So, we're going to be covering a video on how to install some drip irrigation. I have some Netafim spin locks, some Netafim drippers, some Netafim regulators, or as I like to call them, diaphragms. And then I finally have some Netafim tubing. I also have a Mondi pump that I'm using. I'm using a 1,580 gallon per hour pump. And then I have about 500 feet of tubing. You don't need 500 feet of tubing, but you need some tubing. The most important first piece, which is the male adapter. This adapter basically connects to the pump, and this is where it all starts. This piece is critical because then it connects to all the other pieces that you have. So we're gonna take this piece, we're gonna install it right into the pump. If you want, you can get some Teflon tape and put it on this, prevent any leaks. But so far, I haven't had too much problem with leaks by just screwing it right in as it is, as you can see. Cool? So we're gonna get this inside of the Netafim nice and tight and make sure that this doesn't have any issues later on. Cool, so now that it's attached and everything, I'm going to actually remove the top and the piece inside. We're gonna make our first connection with this very small piece of pipe that I've cut so far. So here's how it works, here's how you install it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna attach the pipe as such. Now that we're here, we're going to be taking this piece, as you can see, and we're gonna point it downwards. Do you see how it curves downwards, right? So this is gonna be pointing downwards, just like that. This. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna attach it to that. Cool, as such, cool. Now that you're here, you're gonna push this cap down, and you're gonna tighten it on. Cool. And here we go. So here's my pump, now with some tubing sticking up. Perfect, we just got this started. Now we're gonna take this and put this into the bucket. Cool. Now we're gonna get our first T, and we're gonna connect it here. So I have my T right here, so we're gonna connect it as such. See, here's the T, all installed, nicely done. And this is a tubing that I have that is going inside of this room right now. I basically took the line, and to mimic this side, I ran it around the corner into one of the lower holes that's inside the tent and made it go through there. So if you want to know how I got that irrigation line in, that's how I did it, using something like that, except for that side of the tent, as you can see right there. Cool. So now that I have this, I actually want this irrigation system to go to two different rooms. I want it to go to this room, and I want it to go to this smaller room. So in order for me to do that, I need to basically design this so that way if I have water going to one tent, I do not let the water go to the other tent. So that means that this needs to be the diversion point, and there needs to be a valve here and a valve here to prevent both rooms from getting fed at the same time. So let's add a valve. I have a small piece of pipe that we've cut, and I'm gonna unscrew it right here, and we're gonna install it, okay? So here we go, I have the T installed, and I have this installed as well. And right here, I have a ball valve that we're gonna be using. This is a 16 millimeter ball valve. And so what we're gonna be doing is sticking this right into the top right here. Okay, now that I've installed the valve, I am now installing an elbow into the pathway. Finally, what we're gonna do is take the main irrigation line that goes into this room, and we're gonna install it right here. Cool, and here we go, it's all done. So now as you can see, it goes behind the tent, and then it goes through this little hole, which as we go down here, you can see the irrigation tube then comes this way, right? And then ends right here. Ends right here underneath the tray. So I like this a lot. It's a really nice slick design, and it basically comes right underneath this tray. And now what we're gonna do is install another elbow. Okay, so we got an elbow installed right here, and I basically want it to come underneath the tray like this. So it's gonna come up and then into the tray as such. So we're gonna put another elbow. Cool, so now we have this elbow attached, and we have another piece. This piece is a bit long, so I'm gonna cut it right here and add another elbow right here. We're completely connected to the tray now. Now I can start going and laying down my irrigation system around these trays. So here, come and take a look. I'm gonna start off with a T right here. Gonna cut this down shorter. Okay, we got a T right here. And now what I wanna do is I wanna start laying down my elbows. So we're gonna go from here to there and then to there. Here's what we got so far. We got this T going over to this elbow, goes over to the next elbow, goes over to another T. And then this T is gonna connect down over here to this T, and it's gonna make a whole loop. So that's good on that side. Now, the reason why we put a T here is so that way I could jump over, split again, and then go to this next tray. So that's what we're gonna be doing next. Okay, so here's how the trays look now that they're completely lined with Netafim tubing. We also use zip ties to be able to tie them down at each corner. The next thing we have to do is start punching in holes with this tool so that way we can start installing these diaphragms. And as soon as we install these little diaphragms right here, which regulate how much water passes through per minute, we can then install these dripping stakes, which then are going to be attached straight to the pots. So let's get started, shall we? So here's what it looks like when it's completely done with having all the holes punched and having all the drippers basically installed. And so this is basically what I chose to do. I went and put 5 on each side, so that way I could have a total of 10 per tray. And there's no limit to how you can do this, folks. You can go up to 12, you can go up to 16. If you push up to 16, you're starting to push it with a 2x4 square. So these are two 2x4 squares, and so we're gonna have fun with having about 10 per tray. Cool? So now the last thing to install is the drippers. And here we go. All the drippers are now installed. So as you can see here, all these are ready to go, and all I have to do is just put in plants, put in these drippers, fill this baby up, and we're ready to rumble. So now what I can do with this right here is I can decide to install another valve and another line to this tent, and that's how I can basically use one pump for 2 different rooms and feed 2 different ways. Cool? I hope this video was useful for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.